guys, it's Trina and this is my monthly recommendations video for March. And a monthly recommendations is a Goodreads group that was created by myself and
me, Kayla Rayne. I'm here!
Kayla is in town for a book festival and we thought it would be great to get together and collab on our monthly recs video since it is our group. And this month's topic is own voices, so we're just going to go back and forth and recommend some own voices books that we have enjoyed to you guys. But before we jump into our book recommendations, I do want to point out that since I am like a white, straight reviewer, you may not want to take like my authority on what books are good or bad representation. And I want to just direct you guys to some booktubers who have done videos strictly for own voices book recommendations within marginalized groups that they themselves identify with. So I want to direct you guys to Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd. She's done several videos on LGBTQIA plus recommendations, and one of her videos she just went down and recommended a book for every letter in LGBTQIA plus.
It's not just like recommend and then she's done, like she discusses it. She has a really great Instagram feed as well, so if you're looking to have more diversity in your Instagram feed, definitely follow her. She has beautiful pictures.
Another couple of booktubers that I want to mention who talk about their mental illnesses and that representation in books are Emma Books and Aprilius Maximus. I also want to point you to Raul at Latin Lector and Mari at My Name is Marinez. They both do a Hispanic Heritage Month reading challenge, so whenever that month comes around they have been talking about their TBRs about books by and about Hispanic characters or authors. All of them are channels that I'll put links to in the description, and they are all good places to look for videos that they have specifically done on Own Voices books.
Yeah.
I'm going to start out with recommending El Deafo by Cece Bell. This is her illustrated memoir of her childhood growing up being deaf. And she talks about what it was like getting a hearing aid and what some of her classmates thought about it. And I just thought it was really great, and it's really cute. The illustrations are super cute.
When I first picked up this graphic novel, I thought the illustrations looked very childlike, and I wasn't sure if
me too.
I would be that into it. But the way that she draws the emotions on their faces, it touches you. Like, whenever the main character is like crying, I was crying because I was just like, I feel so connected to this character and the way that she illustrates them. It'll get you.
It's a great book.
It's really good.
And it had so many cool themes about childhood friendships that I could really relate to. So I would definitely recommend that one. Both of us have read that one. So
it's really good.
2 thumbs up.
So the next book, I'm going to be recommending it, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Trina and I have both read this book, and I haven't read the second one yet, but I'm going to because I'm obsessed with it now. This book just has great representation in general, but the own voices aspect in this book is one of the main characters, Kaz Brecker. He uses a cane to walk. The representation and just the way that his character gets to have so much development, and his disability is a part of his identity, but it isn't the only focus, was really fantastic. I loved that it was acknowledged throughout the entire book. It wasn't just something that was mentioned at the beginning and, you know, then was just used as like a plot twist in the end or whatever. Like, it was apparent throughout the entire narrative of the novel. And I'm really looking forward to Crooked Kingdom.
The next book that I want to recommend has trans representation in it. It is If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo. And this is a contemporary novel about a girl named Amanda who has transitioned and she's going to a new school. She's recently moved in with her father and she had been living with her mother. And this book really explores the family dynamic between all of them, how her parents have reacted to her transition and how her classmates at her old school reacted to it versus how her new friends at her new school are kind of finding out. This book has really touching moments. Like, it's a really nice, sweet book, but at the same time it doesn't shy away from the tougher times that she's gone through in her childhood.
I really liked the relationship that was built up throughout the book between Amanda and her father.
I love that.
That was probably my favorite part about the book, but I also liked that Amanda got to have a really beautiful romantic relationship. Like, that was something that I hadn't seen in a book before, with a trans main character. And while this book, like Trina said, does deal with some of the bigger issues and like the difficult moments, it looks at the entire picture and it just sees Amanda's entire life, like her whole day-to-day existence, which was really nice. Had a lot of really happy, really awesome romantic moments in it. The next book is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. It's amazing. So this book follows a main character named Star Carter. She witnesses her childhood best friend Khalil murdered at the hands of a police officer. And this book is inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement, and It is an almost entirely black cast of characters. This book is really fantastic. One thing that I want to point out is while this book does deal with bigger issues, this is not like just an issues book. There is this really adorable prom scene in it. The main character is obsessed with Harry Potter. This focuses on just a teenage girl going about her everyday life, dealing with the issues that she has to deal with because she is a black teenager in America. But the thing is like, there's more to that than just the issues she deals with. There's her family, her friends, school, romances.
She's finished the book, and I'm actually only partway through it. But I love the emphasis on her family relationships.
Yes, and it's not just parents.
Yeah, not just parents.
It's her grandmother, siblings, aunt and uncle, cousins.
Like the whole community.
Yes.
And how they interact together. I love the friendships that she's made, like in her neighborhood versus at her school. The romance. Angie Thomas has just written so many different vibes in one book. It's amazing.
Honestly, when I've described and recommended this book, it sounds like there's so much going on, but it's seamlessly put together.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like so much is going on because everything just blends perfectly. So read it. It's amazing. There's a reason it's on the New York Times bestseller list because it is.
It lives up to the hype.
Yes, it really does.
I also want to recommend The Girl at Midnight, which is an urban fantasy series by Melisa Gray, and the author and the main character are both Latinx women, and so it's got that representation. It's kind of subtle because I don't think being a fantasy world, this main character lives in our real world, but she grew up with these fantasy creatures, so there's not a lot of an emphasis on her race or her heritage.
It's not a book about her identity as a Latina youth.
It's just an amazing fantasy series that is starring a Latinx character.
Right, and if you like have you read Daughter of Smoke and Bone?
Yes.
Okay, so if you like that series, the first book has a lot of similarities, but it also has a lot of differences that set it apart. Oh, it's so good. So the last book I have to recommend is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera, and this is a YA contemporary that has like a sci-fi element to it, but that's
it's like sci-fi realism. That's what I call it.
Yeah. But it reads very much like a contemporary, so if you like contemporary, this is one that I would recommend. It's a very slow burn plot, so I think that's something that if that's not your thing, this might not be the book for you, but if you enjoy books that kind of have like a big build-up and it kind of all comes together in the end, this is one that I think that is really good to pick up. It has really great representation on dealing with grief and acceptance, and there's an element of poverty in there, which I don't see a lot of in YA, and I think that we definitely need to recognize that more.
And the character and the author are both gay and Puerto Rican, so it does have that kind of representation as well. I don't think we said this, but the plot of the book is that the main character is gay, and when he develops feelings for one of his best friends, there is this scientific procedure that allows people to erase their memories, and he wants to erase his feelings because he doesn't want to be gay. He thinks it's not the easier path in life, and so he is kind of dealing with the ramifications of what would it mean to erase your identity.
Yeah.
And last recommendation that I have is Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. This one is a memoir, so it's nonfiction, and this is her story about her mental health. She talks about juggling her mental illness with her family and with her career, and she is very candid about her medications and her low points and her high points. And this is a really great, I listened to it on audiobook, so it's really great on audiobook, but I actually, unfortunately, have not read very many Own Voices mental illness representation, which is like the one thing that I could identify with. Some that I've loved and have strongly resonated with me just happen not to be Own Voices, but this is an Own Voices one that I really, really enjoyed, so I would recommend it. And I do want to ask you guys too, if you have any Own Voices mental illness book recommendations, please let me know because I would love to check them out.
Especially within the YA genre. I mean, I'm not opposed to reading memoirs and adult fiction and stuff, but my bread and butter is YA, and I'd love to see more of that because adolescents deal with mental illness. They have to live with that, and having discussions about medication, therapy, coping mechanisms, self-care and stuff like that, I think is so important for teenagers because it's not something that they get to see a lot of. You know, the main characters in books usually don't deal with that. And it kind of sucks when you're growing up as a teenager with a mental illness and you're like, why can't I
don't see yourself
the hero, the main character of a book, you know, in a romance or anything. So I would love to see more of that in YA. So if you have recommendations, I'm here for that.
Leave us your recommendations. That is it for this video, and I actually have more recommendations on this topic that I'm going to be giving you guys over on Kayla's channel. Woo! Sorry.
It's fine, it's fine.
So check out her video on her channel, which is like the second part to this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your recs in the comments, and we'll see you there. Bye. Bye.